So let's talk a little bit about your songwriting process.
Okay.
Do you have a method that you use to get started, or is it all over the place?
It's a bit all over the place. I think there's some great methods out there. My wife did a songwriting course through the Berklee School of Music just recently, and there's amazing amounts of great techniques out there that can be used to not just wait for the universe to give you something, which I think I'm a big fan of. But yeah, mostly I do wait for that kind of a right moment. I try not to push it too much. The song that I'll end up playing for you the music was there for 5 years, and I kept on trying to write lyrics to it, and it just wouldn't happen. And rather than kind of forcing something and having it be subpar, I just kind of waited. And it came up 5 years later at 12 o'clock on a camping trip next to a river when all the family went to sleep and the fire was very low. And that was great. So I kind of, some songs, it's like reading like several books, You finish some books overnight, some books take you years to finish, some books you don't finish. Yeah.
Right, true.
Yeah.
That's funny that you mentioned that, because I was going to ask you about that, if you ever go back to old things that you started and hadn't finished and pull them out.
I think good things kind of stand the test of time, really, and the things that don't. And but yeah, I think there's also great ways of just sitting down and going, I'm going to write a song no matter what, and it doesn't matter if it's good or bad, and I think you can get a lot of gems out of that as well, of just not being too precious about having to be perfect,
Right.
Yeah.
I've taken some songwriting classes through the Berklee online school, and they're awesome.
Yeah. It's definitely, being kind of orbiting around my wife while she was doing it, I definitely learned a lot about just putting the senses back into songwriting, so that, when you're talking about something, you start describing the smell, the taste, the texture of it. And although those people haven't been there with you in that experience, they all have sensual memories of their own that they just download into your description, and all of a sudden they're smelling the same things that you are, or at least they're smelling something in their own memories that totally plants them in your song. So I tried to do a little bit of that. Mind you, I didn't do the chorus, so I probably didn't do it as good as my wife. But but yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. So can you tell the story really briefly about how you wrote How Do You Sleep at Night? Because I thought that was kind of a cool story.
Well, I wrote How You Sleep at Night a few months ago, and I wrote it quite differently. I'm gonna just go to the camera for 5 seconds and grab this guitar because it's in a different tuning. And I kind of wrote it as a bit of a fingerpicky number, so it's kind of like a. And it was basically that, and then I was gonna record it for the album, and we're just in the first day of we're just about to start the first day of rehearsing with my new drummer. So learning a whole bunch of old songs, a whole bunch of songs off this album, and then we're gonna learn that song and record it and put it on the album. And I woke up at 4:30 that morning to this dream of that song, but kind of completely rejigged. It was in a different key, and it was played a lot more simple. And it was, while I was actually looking at a screen of a video, I was watching the video of the song with my manager, and I was going, so this is how the song is going to sound now. And it had like this dance beat underneath it, and
in your dream?
In my dream, it was like it had this dance kind of production to it. And I was like, it was in a different key, and it was pretty cool. And I woke up from the dream, and I ran to the living room and put a capo on my guitar and tried to find out what the key was, and try to work out how it went. And they kind of ended up doing that, and had this like synth bass underneath it, so it was a completely different kind of a song. And then I took it to the band. I said, I've had this dream, and they said, well, that's a pretty cool dream, we should try it. I said, let's try it. So when it came time to actually starting to rehearse the song, I thought we'd go back to the old-fashioned way of playing it, but the band said, why don't we just try the dream first? Okay. And we tried the dream, and within 4 takes of playing it, the song was finished and done, and it all came really, really quickly, and there was something very otherworldly about the whole process. And yeah, it's cool when those things happen. It's happened a couple of times with lyrics. Sometimes I wake up with lyrics kind of coming out of my mouth, or I wake up, half asleep, and I'm writing half asleep, and this poetry will come out that's far better than my poetry. And yeah, I like those things that kind of happen.
Yeah. Well, they say that you really know another language when you dream in that language. So
yeah, right.
That's it. You're dreaming in song.
Yeah. Sometimes I have dreams that are amazing. I hear the music and I go, and I don't even know how to play it. I don't even know how to even make it. But I know it's somewhere in there, and hopefully one day I'll make it. But every once in a while I wake up from dreams with some pretty out there music. I hope to finally play it one day.
Yeah. Were there any other surprising moments in the process of this album?
Are there any other surprising moments? That's right. Yeah, I mean, I guess just the songwriting, with the band. Co-writing was pretty cool. I think we got together for a week or two of just jamming, only jamming. I wasn't allowed to bring any of my own songs into the session.
So you started fresh?
Trio in the room, none of my songs, none of my preconceived ideas, and we're just playing. And I think the very first song that we actually started jamming was a song that ended up turning into a song called Blame It On Me.
Yeah.
And which is one of my favorite tracks on the album now. And so those things are unexpected, just the very first jam, just everything shooting from the hip. And, I think you go into those situations hoping for the best, but at the end of the day, the song has to hold water to really make it to the end, to the finish line. And there's a long way from that moment to the finish line. Mm-hmm. A lot of heads get, chopped. And a lot of good things get chopped because they just weren't good enough. And there's a couple songs out of those sessions that actually were really good, Blame It On Me and Devil Woman. A lot of my songs got chopped. And so I like that. I like that as a trio and as a songwriter and as a group of producers and songwriters together, we all see it the same way. Thank God we all see it the same way. I think chemistry kind of binds us together in the sense that we know when something works and when it doesn't, and we can walk away from our own ideas or stand by somebody else's idea if need be. And that's a pretty cool relationship to have with a group of individuals.
It's very mature.
It is very mature. Maybe we're growing up.
Oh no.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
It's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, nothing.
So, did you write a lot of songs? Did you record songs that didn't make it onto the?
Yeah, there was a few songs. Some songs didn't even get past.
Yeah.
The real demo phase of showing Jan, trying to work it out. There's some songs we played live we thought were great, and they just literally didn't make it to the album at all. Which is really strange. Songs that the fans really loved as well. Songs like Kimberly that were great songs that just didn't quite make it on this album for some reason or another.
Have you been playing this material live?
Now we are. No,
Yeah.
We just started. We've had 7 or 8 gigs together as the new trio, playing new songs, and it's been a lot of fun.
What's your favorite song on the album to play live?
Oh, there's a few songs that are. They're all fun in their own ways. Some songs are fun because they're just scary and they demand a lot of focus, with singing and just playing the parts really well. And other songs are just fun because, they're wild and crazy little beasts that seem to want to be expressed a little differently every time. I love playing, Living in the City live. Live we have a completely, Black Sabbath ending to that song that kind of came out of nowhere, and
that's fun.
Yeah, and there's other songs like Wings Are Wide or Bullet Girl or Spring to Come that are these beautiful kind of delicate / not so delicate kind of songs that just when you're in the zone and you're really playing in the present, they're really fun to sing and just do the right thing by, which is just play the song.
Cool. I liked the first single, Only One, and what made you decide to put the steel drums into that?
Nicky, our former drummer, he's a world music fan, and he spent a lot of time in the Caribbean, and got some steel pans years ago, and we've always had tuned percussion in the band ever since Michael Barker was in the band. a fantastic drummer in the trio, and it's something that I never really wanted to leave behind. So when Nicky knew how to play the pans, we added the pans to the band, and it's just one of those great instruments that can just add a hook or a melody, in a different way that a guitar or a set of horns can.
Yeah, it's a really nice element
in
that song. Yeah.
It's quite happy.
Yeah.
All the time.
It makes me think of, no worry.